I'm going to say that again because I forgot to hit record. So the first thing you're going to do when you get your quiz is list out your squares and cubes. You either know them or you can type in the calculator, 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't have them memorized, do you understand how you can make the calculator give them to you? Okay, like brain optional. 1 cubed, 2 cubed, 3 cubed, 4 cubed, 5 cubed, or you memorize them, one or the other. Do you guys you've started to know some of them though, right? Like they're not completely unfamiliar to you. I mean, we've been doing this for a while. So for 108, you're going to draw your 2 little houses. I don't really expect that you know all the numbers that go into 108. That's not reasonable, but I expect you to be able to use the calculator. The way you type it is 108 divided by X. Hit the gear and make a little table. Now you're looking for one of the numbers that's off of that squares list because it's a square root. And it is right here, 36. Do you see it? So again, I don't expect that you've memorized it. I don't expect you have a calculator in your head, but I expect you to be able to use Desmos and find that. So it's 36 and 3. What's your square root of 36? Because that's the one that works. That's like good. So 6 square root of 3. This is the exact same problem, except what? Cubed. So when I go and type it in the calculator, I'm looking for a number off that cubes list, but same thing. And you have to clear this out every single time. So I'm going to type 384 divided by X, gear table, and we're going to find something off the cubes list. There it is, 64. Do you see that? Believe it or not, I didn't know what it was either. I don't know all the numbers that go into 384. I typed it in, 64, and then the other number is 6. Now your cube root of 64 is not 8. If you don't know it, you can type it in. Does anyone remember how to type a cube root? Yeah, CBRT, or you can go into functions, scroll all the way down. Cube root of 64 is 4. So again, I don't expect you to know it really, but I expect you to be able to use Desmos. It's click, click, click in the calculator. It's like brain optional, all right? Let's do another one. Draw your 2 little houses. We're looking for a number that goes into 80. Now I'll go ahead and tell you 4 works, but you want the biggest one. So I typed 80 divided by X, gear table. 4 is on there, but I know that there's one bigger than 4. Does anybody see it? Off your squares list. Good job. 16, do you see that? And 5, perfect. The whole point of choosing 16 is it works. That's like why we're doing that. What's your square root of 16? 4. If you didn't know the square root of 16, what would you do? Type it into the calculator. All right, we're just going to do this again. 50. You might be able to do that one without the calculator. I'm going to throw it out there and just see what I get. It's what? So I know what your brain is doing, but it's not 5. It's actually 25. Your brain did it already is what happened there. It's 25 times what gives you 50? 2. Good. So smart. Your brain just did it ahead of you. And then your square root of 25 is 5. So 5 square root of 2. This one, believe it or not, is one of the most commonly missed questions. And it's actually the easiest one on there. But I get why it happens. It's so easy, it becomes more complicated. 27 is actually on your cubes list. You don't have to split this one up. It actually just works. Watch, I'll show you. CBRT, negative 27. And the answer is just negative 3. Like that one, you don't have to split. It works out perfect. If your number's on one of these lists, you don't have to do any work. It's no work, right? 252. Believe it or not, I don't know what the answer is. I'm not magic. I don't have a calculator in my head. I don't know what this is. I'm going to type 252 divided by X, gear table, and we're trying to find a number off the squares list or the cubes list. Why squares? That's correct. It's not a cube root. It's a square root. All right, do you see one? 36. Good. Times 7. And the whole point of choosing 36 is it's going to work. What's your square root of 36? 6. Square root of 7. Good. This is coming back to us. This is going well. I'm pleased. I like making everyone's grades good. It's like my favorite. All right. Identify each expression. I'll go ahead and tell you there's 2 of them. All right. We're going to do the problem exactly the same way we did on the other side. Now, when you have a negative number and you go to type into the table, Don't type a negative for the table, like just throw a negative in your answer. Like there's gonna be a negative in your answer. What was it, 128? Which list are we looking at to try and match? Cubes, good. Oh, and actually it's right there. Do you see it? 64 and 2. So it's going to be negative 64 and 2. Do you see how that's this choice right here? And then what is your cube root of negative 64? Well, if you don't, oh, does somebody say? I heard somebody say something. It's negative 4 cube root of 2. So that's this one right here. It's the same way on your quiz. There's 2 of them. Like you just do the problem and it's the steps of your answer. Now these ones are backwards. You're still going to draw 2 little houses. You're just doing the problem in reverse. See how this one's 2? See that there? 2? Is it a square root or a cube root? Hold on one second. Cube. So what you have to do is 5 cubed. If you don't know that, all right, ready? Or does anyone think they know it? 5 to the third, 5 cubed. It's on the list. 125. You see that there? And then all you do is multiply them together. So 125 times 2 is 250. We just did the problem backwards. Instead of splitting it, we put it back together. Let's try it again. Draw your 2 little houses. One of them's got a 7 under it. That's just the 7 that's right there. And then this one, instead of cubing, oh, I forgot something in this problem. This is actually wrong. What did I forget? I forgot the 3's on everything. I'm sorry. Horrible. All right. And then for this one, instead of cubing, you're going to square. So 3 squared is, good job, 9. And then you just multiply them. Does anyone know 9 times 7? You know the trick with your fingers, or 63? Good job.